Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing so-called sponsored work permits. Done a number of videos on this channel on this topic. I kind of view it as sort of a fallacious euphemism that it sounds like something real, but it really isn't. This notion of a quote-unquote sponsored work permit, if you will, is basically the notion that you essentially pay someone to give you a work permit and you're not really working there. You're just getting a work permit through an operation that's already ongoing. And the reason this can be a real problem is it's at best pretextual, but in my opinion, it's a pretense, it's pretensive, and it's simply being used to maintain status for something you're not doing. If you're not actually working for a company in Thailand, then you should not be getting a work permit for it. That's how the law is set up. And for those who think I'm just sort of, oh, you're some kind of buzzkill or something, you're trying to rain on people's parade. No, it's a problem because you can get deported. And if you're found to be doing it, it could even be viewed, there could be all sorts of Labor Department violations associated with it. There could be all sorts of fines associated with it, including possibly prison time associated with, well, jail time, I should say, associated with it, although I think criminal penalties of that nature are probably unlikely. But it's definitely possible it could be deemed to be a pretense, and one could have their status revoked and then be deported because they're not really working under the sort of the guise that they claim to be. The thrust of this video is talking about this, though, in the context of a possible nationality application in the future. That's an application for Thai citizenship. If one has had a sponsored work permit or has maintained one long enough that they are then seeking their citizenship, one needs to look at this very, very carefully and probably should be very cautious about engaging in this, to the point that I would say it's probably a good idea to not get involved with a sponsored work permit if one wants to have Thai nationality at some point in the future. Because the scrutiny, and I've been through the citizenship process, the scrutiny placed on these applications is immense. I can say from personal experience, there's, at various aspects of the process, one will be dealing with adjudication of one's prior business activity, one's prior employment activity here in Thailand, one's prior immigration status here in Thailand, and all of that will be scrutinized heavily, very heavily. I really cannot convey it's a really major process, and you're looked at by pretty much anybody in an official capacity in the kingdom that has anything to do with someone becoming a Thai citizen. So the point of this video, you need to kind of think ahead and understand that a sponsored work permit may seem like an expedient option, but in the longer term, it can have really dire consequences, especially unforeseen dire consequences for those who are looking to gain very permanent status, notably citizenship here in the Kingdom of Thailand.